At it again, and we've got to talk about the land down under today. Australia. Yes, I know. We typically don't really talk about other countries too much. One thing that I did learn some years ago was that, and yes, call me stupid, whatever, but I had no clue that the world really does pay attention to America. Obviously, that's always been something that people have said, but when I had heard some individuals like from the UK say that, yeah, we watch American news, and I've never watched UK news a day in my life. I just thought that was really interesting. But today we got to talk about the land down under because it's getting a little wild. And to anyone from the land down under from Australia, y'all better wake up. And you better wake up quick, fast, and in a hurry. This video has something to do with Elon Musk and Twitter as well, X. I always call X Twitter. It's just, you've just gotten so used to it, and everybody knows what you're talking about when you say Twitter anyway. But, yeah, apparently Australian Senator Jackie Lambie, I'm sure I butchered that name. I apologize, but she's apparently not happy about the freedom of speech on the platform of X. Now, keep in mind, this is the same woman who wanted to imprison unvaccinated individuals. Yeah, the unjabbed. She wanted to throw them in jail because they didn't have the... Crazy, right? So, considering that, I guess what she says here isn't too shocking. Like, share, comment, and hit that subscribe button if you are new. And, let's dive in.
I don't know, whatever Elon Musk is on, it says that that's okay to continue to air that is absolutely disgusting behaviour. And quite frankly, the bloke should be jailed. And the sooner that we can bring rules in or do something about this sort of game playing with our social media, the better off we're going to be. But quite frankly, the power that man has, because of that platform that he's on, it's got to stop. It has absolutely got to stop.
You heard that right. She wants him thrown in jail. In jail. Because of freedom of speech.
It just beggars belief, really, doesn't it? That this guy, this egotistical billionaire, thinks that it's more important for him to be able to show whatever he wants on X or Twitter or whatever you want to call it today. It's more important for him to have his way than to respect the victims of the crimes that are being shown on social media and to protect our Australian community from the harmful impact of showing this terrible stuff on social media. Like, we are acting in Australia. We have quadrupled the budget for the e-Safety Commissioner. We tried to introduce a misinformation and disinformation bill last year. Sadly, the Liberals and Nationals didn't support it at the time. Peter Dutton and Susan Ley said that they will now. That's good. We need to keep Australians safe from this terrible stuff on social media. And Elon Musk doesn't dictate to the Australian government what we are doing here domestically with our laws. It just...
Remember I told you guys, beware. Be very aware when they say we want to keep you safe. Because that to me, and what I've come to figure out is that that's just a phrase that they use now in order to take more rights away from us. Now, granted, this is in Australia, but we've heard that here. Remember where they tried to start up the what they call it, the disinformation, misinformation little group. What it was called something though. I can't remember the exact name of it, but it was all in the name of keeping us safe. Right? Keeping us safe. And to these politicians, to them I say, if you have a problem with the video in question, and I'll get into the actual video that they're speaking of, then don't go on social media. Nobody is forcing you to go on to X. You don't have to use the platform. It's literally that simple. You don't have to go on there. There's others that are free to use. It's not like the other platforms charge and X is like the only free one. right? There's other platforms, including one that is very, very similar to X, which is called Threads, I believe it's called. It's Instagram's version of X, right? Or of Twitter. Their spin on it. So even if you want a similar experience to Twitter, you have another option. It's not like Twitter is like the only thing that's like Twitter, right? Threads is really, really similar. Very, very similar. I'm not really well, actually, I think I do have a Threads account, but I don't use it. I started it just to see what's going on there, and then it just kind of, yeah. Anyway, the video in question was of a Christian bishop who was giving a sermon and was attacked. Well, in mid-sermon, some of you have probably seen it. It went viral. It was all over the place. Christians across the world were angry about the situation. He was poked. I'm gonna keep it PG. He was poked several times. You catch my drift when I say poked. You know, something going into his flesh. There weren't any projectiles, you know, flying out of a barrel or anything, but he was poked several times, and it was on camera. The video went viral on sites like X, right, where it was shared millions upon millions of times. Everyone saw it. Angered people, right, to see something like that, to see a bishop like that be attacked. Christian guy, so of course Christians were angry, okay? But apparently Australia has an issue with that video being shared. So what Elon did was he blocked it in Australia, okay? From my understanding, it was blocked in Australia, which is what they wanted. But they want it blocked worldwide. That's why they still have a problem with it.
The alleged attack, and Elon Musk really showing contempt for the government and its approach on this issue. What's your take on the tech billionaire?
So when it comes to the tech billionaire, like I've already said, I think he's a social media knob with no social conscience. He has absolutely no social conscience. Someone like that should be in jail and the key be thrown away. That bloke should not have a right to be out there on his own ideology platform and creating hatred, you know, showing all this stuff out there to our kids and doing all the rest. I'm very interested to watch what the US is going to do with TikTok and how far that they can do. We're trying to get rid of that platform as well. So I think we're all watching on the United States at the moment to see what they're doing. But seriously, if we can move, and if that means in the next sitting that we can shut him down from doing this, because this is
happy
just
to kick
disgraceful.
Them out? You kick the platform out?
I don't give a stuff about the platform. I'm happy to go off the platform today, to be honest with you. I already have a list of all you journalists. I don't even know why we're on the platform. But I say this to everybody else. I'll be switching off X today. I'll be doing that before I get to the airport this afternoon. And I suggest that the other 226, there's 227 members of parliament do the same thing and show them that you mean business. Because when you want to lead by example, it has to happen from here.
Couple of things there. She hit the nail on the head there at the very end. If you don't like it, then get off the platform. It's literally that simple. If you don't like it, you're not being forced to see it. And I love how she brought kids into the equation, exposing our kids to blah, 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 blah. Okay, we'll create a law that says kids aren't allowed to go on to social media platforms. Bingo, problem solved. Now the rest of us continue to have our freedoms and the kids are protected. How about that? And again, once again, you're not forced to go onto that platform. See how quickly I just came up with the solution? But it's not about solving the problem of protecting the kids, right? It's ensuring that they can control the message. It's ensuring that they can control what we see and what we hear. That is the problem. That is the issue. And here's another thing why this whole TikTok thing is important, because you heard her mention TikTok as well. She said we're watching the US to see what they do with TikTok. And you guys remember I said that the banning of TikTok wasn't actually about TikTok. It's never been about TikTok. And, you know, there have been a lot of folks that said, you know, Rich, no, they're spying, blah, blah. All the apps spy on us. Every single one collects your data and your information. Every single one. But now all of a sudden it's an issue. I don't know where my information is going. Sure, people could say, well, Instagram's in America. And where's that information going? Are you sure no one can hack into that information and get it from another country? Right? Wasn't there like a hacking situation that happened with some big company? What was it, like AT&T or something, or like T-Mobile or something that got hacked, or was it a credit card? Some big company got hacked, I believe, by some folks from a different country. So like, what's the difference? And once again, you don't have to use the platform. You're not forced to use the platform, but it's about control. And they always use, well, we want to keep you safe. We want to keep you safe from foreign governments. Really? Is that what it's about? Yeah, all right. Okay. But hidden in that bill, I may save that for another day, because I don't think people truly understand what was actually in that bill. It wasn't just banning TikTok. Just an FYI. It's a lot more sinister than that. It was never about protecting us. It was always about control, in my humble opinion, of course.
Ask you about Elon Musk. He's mocked you this morning for choosing censorship and propaganda over free speech and truth. What's your response to that?
Well, this is a bloke who's chosen ego and showing violence over common sense. I think that Australians will shake their head when they think that this billionaire is prepared to go to court fighting for the right to sow division and to show violent videos, which are very distressing. He is in social media, but he has a social responsibility in order to have that social licence. And what has occurred here is that the eSafety Commissioner has made very sensible suggestions. Other social media companies have complied without complaint. But this bloke thinks he's above the Australian law, that he's above common decency. And I tell you what, I say to Elon Musk, that he is so out of touch with what the Australian public want. This has been a distressing time, and I find this bloke on the other side of the world, from his billionaires' establishments, trying to lecture Australians about free speech. Well, I won't cop it, and Australians won't either.
So what happens if the vision in question here isn't taken down?
Well, of course, there is a court order has been put in place. It's a sensible proposition. No one is above the law. Not Elon Musk, not any Australian citizen. When it comes to operating here in Australia, he has a business that gives him a lot of profit, and I just find it extraordinary that this bloke thinks he's above the law and above common decency. This shouldn't be a matter of the law. It should be a matter of people doing the right thing.
Can you get a meeting with him, or should moves be made to speak to him? Would you be even interested in that?
Well, I think our position is very clear, and Mr. Musk has made his position clear. This bloke thinks he's above everyone. Well, that's not the way that Australia operates, and we have sent a clear message across the board. Politicians in Australia across the political spectrum are backing the eSafety Commissioner, and they're backing the eSafety Commissioner because she's acting in the interests of common sense and in the interests of common decency.
Does that, the fact that he does not care though, does that show how weak laws are to try and stop him from doing what he's doing?
It shows how arrogant this bloke is. That's what it shows. But we'll continue to pursue. He had a loss in the legal system last night with this interim decision, and we will back the eSafety Commissioner, as I'm sure every parliamentarian will. And Mr. Musk should be very conscious of the fact that Australians are united on this issue.
Are Australians really united on the issue? See, crazy thing is, once again, you don't have to go on the platform. The other thing is, I believe he has banned the actual video or gotten rid of the video in Australia. So, what's the issue? What's the problem? Which y'all want the rest of the world to be banned from the clip too? I mean, well, it's saved on people's phones, so anybody could upload it at any time to anywhere, right? Once again, it's never about keeping us safe. It's always about control. Always about control. Y'all let me know what you thought about this one in the comment section below. Like, share, comment. Hit that subscribe button before you go. Peace and love. I'm out.